Good morning, students. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How are you all? Class is joining and will be starting in 2 minutes so that all the students are available and will move with that. The topics that we are going to cover in this lecture includes this first is we have already started part 4 and the topics that we are going to do today is also the part of this fourth part of syllabus. This will include case tool, case tools, tools, software configuration management, and the third one is fixing. So these are the topics that we are going to do today. I'm just waiting for few students that everybody should join before we start with our lecture. Please be on time. The first topic that we are going to do today is case tool. Case tools, first of all, uh, what is the history, or we can say from how this case tool originated in the software engineering. So, concept is that to speed up the software system building process, a new concept was introduced, and to cover that concept of rapid programming, rapid development, rapid kind of testing, rapid kind of quality assurance, we introduced a concept called case tools. Basically, these case tools are nothing but uh, and it did approach. They are the it did approach. We can say it did approach in software engineering. From the aided approach, we mean that how they can help in rapid development of software systems. This Minder, Mitesh, and many other like Karthik, kindly be on time. You people are always late in the class. So, what I was telling you, we are discussing case tools, computer assisted tool or aided tools in software engineering. The approach is that we want a rapid kind of development or rapid kind of testing in software engineering. So, to deal with that, what we did is we developed a computer aided approach in software engineering, and that approach is called computer aided software engineering tools that are called, this thing is called case tools. Case tools. So it was developed in nearly 70s. Software systems that are intended to provide automated support for software process activities. Basically, they provide you not a manual kind of support, but an automated kind of support is provided in case of case tools. Automated support for rapid development, rapid process processes in software engineering. That is called case tools. Um, as far as need is concerned, software developers are always looking for such case tools that help them in many different ways during the different stages of software. They can understand the software and prepare a good product that efficiently fulfill the user requirement. So if we have tools, we are able to identify and fulfill the user requirement more correctly, more easily, more efficiently. And case to provide the way that can fulfill the requirement of software developers also. There maybe we can develop the tools accordingly, say that so that it can suggest the requirements. These to provide a computerized setting to software developers to analyze a problem and then design its system model. Basically, tools are for everything. Tools are for requirement. Tools are for development. Tools are for testing. Tools are for designing. There are tools for doing coding also. So all such kind of tools forms a concept called case tools. So the main we can say the main headings for which the case tools we are developing. So we can say case is a use of computer assisted method, computer assisted method to organize and control the development of software. Of software. So computer assisted method, you cannot do the things manually. You need a computer system to, it should be computer assisted. If you're doing the things manually, you cannot say these are the case tools. It should be computer assisted through computer, and development is done especially on large uh, complex projects, especially on large complex projects, not for small projects like we people are developing in school colleges. For large complex projects, we are using case tools and involving many software components and people. And people. So this is the basic concept. Using case, it allows designers, code writers, testers, planners, and managers to share a common view where a project stand at each stage of development. So it give you a kind of, we can say this case will give you a kind of platform for sharing their views or allowing them to share information, we can say. For testers, planners, managers can exchange the view or a project, where a project stands, each stage of development. Like we have a planning stage. We know we have a planning stage. We have analysis planning stage, analysis stage. We have design stage. We have implementation, implementation, testing, maintenance, testing, maintenance. So remember, these planning, analysis, and design are called uppercase tools, upper level case tools, uppercase tools, and these are called lower case tools. So it should be in the computer. All are what? All are computer assisted. Computer assisted. All are computer assisted.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I know most of the students are waiting in the waiting list, but you know, it's 9:40. यही बोलना है ना अंचल आपने?
मैम वो तो वो एंटर नहीं हो पाई क्लास में.
दे एंटर इसलिए नहीं हो पाए क्योंकि दे पीपल आर लेट.
मैम
नाउ
उसके
आई विल नॉट अलाउ एनीबॉडी.
मैम उसके पावर कट था तो वो वाईफाई उसका डाउन था.
नहीं बेटा, देयर आर नॉट ओनली वन और टू पीपल. 10 students are waiting in the waiting list.
Okay.
I am saying for all everybody that please be on time. Now I am locking this meeting. I will not allow anybody to enter now because बार बार हम यही करते रहते हैं. Some people are there who have joined now. Abhishek Kumar Singh is always late in my class. जब मैनुअल लगती थी तब भी, जब कॉलेज में लगती थी तब भी, एंड नाउ ऑनलाइन क्लास. अभिषेक कुमार सिंह. Okay. So these are called uppercase tools and these are called lowercase tools. So planning can be done in a computer assisted way. Analysis can be done in a computer assisted way. We'll tell you what are the various examples and tools, automated tools that are used for these things. Design can also be done using automated tools, implementation, testing, and maintenance. For everything, we can have an automated assisted tool that can be used for develop for project making. So main purpose of case tool, why we uh, develop case tools. Question is why we develop case tools. First is it a kind of quick installation is possible. Quick installation is possible. Time saving by reducing coding and testing time. आपकी टाइम सेव होगा. Time saving by reducing coding and testing time. So that is why we require case tool. It enriches these case tool enrich what? What do you feel like enriching is there if you are using some automated tools? Enrich the graphical techniques for development. Techniques and data flow. Next is it is a kind of, it will lead to enhanced analysis and design. Enhanced analysis and design. Create and manipulate documentation. You can create and manipulate documentation easily if you are using case tool. Documentation. The speed during the system development is increased if you are using case tool at every stage. Speed increases during system development.
Excuse me, ma'am.
मैम वो
Ma'am, 6 point is not visible.
6 point is not
Visible.
not visible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm writing above this 6th point. Now it's okay, I hope. The speed
Yes, ma'am.
of development. यहाँ तक ही दिखता है, मतलब development increases with using case tools. So with the use of case tools, quick installation is possible. Time saving by reducing coding and testing time. It enriches graphical techniques and data flow. Next is it enhances your analysis and design. You are able to analyze more easily, more correctly, and able to design the things more easily and correctly. If you are able to see the design, if the computer has made for use for something, you can create and manipulate the documentation. So there are tools through which you can create and manipulate the documentation. Even documentation can also be done through some tools. You can imagine how important, how useful these case tools are. And if you are using these case tool at every stage, so that means what you are doing is you are speeding up the things at every stage. That will lead to the development, speeding up of the development, or we can the speed of development increases if you use more case tools. But you feel like these things are easily possible? No. Now, how organizations use this case tool? If I am running an organization, so I should know how case tools will be used. मुझे कहीं से पता चलता है जी.
मैम सेकंड पॉइंट था इट सेव्स टाइम इन कोडिंग एंड टेस्टिंग.
हाँ जी.
मैम वो कैसे पॉसिबल है, मतलब वो तो
there are tools that are used for testing. We are doing the things manually, but there are tools that are doing testing on our behalf. We are only feeding the, we can say, case sets. हम उनको cases देते हैं और they are doing testing on our behalf. There is a tool called Selenium. Selenium is such tool that support automated testing. We'll study that tool also, automated testing.
Ma'am,
जी।
हेलो मैम, तो कोडिंग में कैसे टाइम सेव होती है?
कोडिंग में कैसे टाइम से देयर आर टू डू दैट यूजली डू योर द कोडिंग पार्ट ऑन योर बिहाफ. there are tools that can help कि आपने कोई like you are dragging and dropping the things and coding is done on the back end. आप कोई text box उठा के ले जाते हो and coding is done on the back end. You are only changing the setting and properties of that very particular graphical thing like
मैम बट
button.
मैम वो तो
मैम
एप्स
वो तो
होंगे
सिर्फ
कोई।
सर्टेन केसेस में होते हैं ना, हर केसेस में पॉसिबल थोड़ी ना होता है वो।
Wellness, मैं तो ये बोल ही नहीं, it is possible in every case, but what I am saying is if we are using case tools that it will save time. I'm
मैम तो
not
फिर
saying
अगर
if you are doing
मैम
anything on your end, on your by your hand, by your uh, by your intelligence, and you are doing on of your own. आप कोई assistance ले ही नहीं रहे किसी tool से, तो आपका time कैसे save होगा? बात समझ आई? These are computer aided software engineering tools. Like I am telling you people that you have to draw the DFD diagram. You people are drawing the DFD diagram. Everybody is drawing it in the form of, we can say, paper and pen, but there are tools that can draw on your behalf DFD and UML diagrams and can create. We have to feed the details only and they can create, or we can draw in the form of graphical tools.
मैम
Like
बट वो
हमने हमने
मैम
critical path हाथ से भी calculate किया, and we know that it can also be created in open approach.
मैम बट वो ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप वाला या जो बैकएंड वाला जो असिस्टेंट वाला, मैम वो हमेशा एक्यूरेट हो, ये कोई।
That, this is the disadvantage of case tools. जो आप बोल रहे हो कि वो हर बार ये बात नहीं है कि वो सही हो. नाउ वो तो चीज है. अब we can make tea and we can make anything using some assistance or without assistance or without any knowledge. ये तो चीज है. If a person is not having now knowledge of that particular tool as well as that particular background. अभी मुझे किसी चीज मुझे डिजाइन ही नहीं आता. If I am not able to do any kind of design, like I am not able to draw a DFD on a paper and pen, how can I do that thing on the automated tool? So a kind of intelligence, a kind of knowledge is required to use that particular case tool. उसी पे तो मैं आ रही हूँ कि मैं ये नहीं कह रही कि केस टूल में आप डिटेल डाल दो तो वो सही बनाएगा और सही होगी. It will require a kind of, we can say, acknowledgement. If we are doing the things on the automated form, we require some kind of discussion on that also. मैं ये थोड़ी बोली कि केस टूल ने बना दिया एंड दैट विल बी करेक्ट, वो ठीक ही होगा. नो, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दिस थिंग. आई एम सेइंग after doing through case tools, people are to see whether this tool has done this thing correctly or not. I hope it is clear to everybody now. हाँ जी. Can you hear me? No?
yes
Okay.
yes ma'am.
Now, is it clear to you now what I am saying regarding case tools? We
Yes ma'am.
are only taking assistance using case tools. We are not totally relying on them. This is हम किसी पे भी नहीं rely कर सकते for these things. Things will be done through the we can say with human interference. We cannot run a car without a human interference. So there are automated cars, अब driverless cars आ गई. Can we can we drive that car totally without human interference? No. We need some kind of assistance every time. उसको भी तो कुछ instructions दे रहे हो ना आप, तभी वो driverless car चलेगी ना, कि अपने आप ही सब कुछ हो जाएगा. So a kind of feedback and a kind of assistance is both required. आप उसको क्या input दे रहे हैं and what kind of output is generating, that is also a part of concern. Output क्या निकल के आएगी उस case से. So how organization uses case tools? First is organization wants to standardize their development process. So to standardize development process, they use case tools. Standardize, देख लेना spelling, development process. Next is for rapid application development, RAD, rapid, किसी rapid application development we can उसके लिए use कर सकते हैं, we can use this case tool, rapid application development. For testing, organization mainly uses for these things, testing and documentation. It helps this standardize the development process of an organization. Organization may use case tool for small projects firstly, like there may be organization that are startup, उन्होंने कभी use नहीं किया, they may use it for some small projects, and whenever they feel like very much confident of using case tool, they may proceed with the large projects. So in other is rapid application development to improve the speed and quality of system developments. So for that we can use case tools. Next is testing. It helps in improving the testing process through automated checking and simplified program proper maintenance. So to improve the quality and the uniformity and ensure the completeness of documentation, we can have case tool for documentation also. So in this way we can use case tools for organizations. Like we can have it for project management. So it improves the project management activity and to some extent automates various activities. So automation of various activities can be possible using this
Excuse me,
project
ma'am.
management case tools. Yes.
मैम एक्चुअली लवप्रीत का कनेक्टिंग इशू था, तो वो उसका प्रॉब्लम आ गई, तो वो उसको एडमिन कर लो।
लवप्रीत ने कभी किया ही नहीं स्टार्ट में, जब से मैंने ये मीटिंग स्टार्ट की है एक बार भी लॉगिन का ट्राई नहीं किया है, वेटिंग लिस्ट में मुझे कभी नहीं शो हो रहा. नो, आई विल नॉट अलाउ एनीबॉडी, प्लीज बी सीरियस.
ओके,
देयर आर स्टूडेंट्स हु आर जस्ट ज्वाइनिंग राइट नाउ एंड विल मार्क एब्सेंट फॉर दोज आल्सो जिनका टाइमिंग जो है नहीं आ रहा थी. So for project management we can use case tools. So it can be used to reduce, we can say it can be used to reduce maintenance cost. It can be used to reduce maintenance cost, and with using organization feels that if they use case tool it will lead to increased productivity. So automation of various activities of system development and management process increases productivity of the development team. So these are uh, the reasons why organization use case tools. Now, the major categories of case tools. Major categories of case tools include first is diagramming tools or diagram tools. For making diagrams, we can use case tools. Project management tools. Documentation tools. Web development tools. quality assurance tool. Maintenance tools. So these are some of the major categories. We can make diagrams. We can decide the project schedule, कितना time लगेगा project बनाने को. We have seen that too also, like open source. There are documentation tools. We'll discuss that. There are web development tools, quality assurance tools, and maintenance tools. So these are some of the major categories. Now first is diagram tools. Diagram tools are used to represent system components. These tools are used to represent system components, data control flow, data and control flow, among various software components. Various software components. So examples are these diagramming tools. की examples are, we have flowchart marker tool, DFD. There is ER diagram, ERDs, ER diagram too. ERDs. Smart draw is there that can draw the diagrams like DFD, ER diagram, such things. So these are the tools that are used for making diagrams in the project. So and these tools are called diagram tools. Next is project management tools. So project management tools are basically for all kind of project related things like project planning, project cost estimation and effort estimation. It includes project planning, project cost estimation, effort estimation, project scheduling is possible. We have seen such tool, scheduling, and what other we can plan is resource planning. For project scheduling, we require resource, and resource planning can also be done using those tools. Resource planning, project planning है, cost estimation, effort estimation, project scheduling, resource planning. Example is Creative Pro Office. We can use open proj. हमने वो यूज किया. ओपन proj में हम शेड्यूलिंग कर सकते हैं, रिसोर्स प्लानिंग कर सकते हैं. That's kind of things we can do. This open proj is one of the example we are using case tool for scheduling. वैसे कोई estimation थोड़ी कर सकता है. We can do the things manually, but we can do the same thing through the software, and that can be project management open proj software. Next is documentation tools. Documentation tool. So documentation tool generates documents for technical user and end user. So it generates documentation for technical user and end user. So like training manuals, we can create is training manuals, installation manual, user manuals, user manuals, can be generated using this documentation tool. This is example is DR explain. Example है DR explain. DR explain.
हेलो मैम।
जी
मैम वो किसी का नेटवर्क इशू है ना, तो उसके से वो मीटिंग लॉक की वजह से एंटर नहीं हो पा रहे दोबारा।
मैंने तो किसी को अभी मैंने बोला था आई लॉग दैट मीटिंग, बट मैंने आई हैव नॉट लॉग्ड द मीटिंग।
मैम वो एंटर नहीं कर पा रहे क्योंकि किसी किसी का नेटवर्क इशू होता है ना, एक बार अगर मीटिंग लॉक हो
बच्चे
जाती तो फिर नहीं।
मैंने लॉक की धमकी दी की नहीं।
मैम वो मैसेज कर रहे कि लॉक है मीटिंग।
There is nothing like locking a meeting. There is nobody in the waiting list. कोई है नहीं waiting list में. How can I allow him if he is not in the list? कोई है ही नहीं waiting list में, तभी allow करूंगी ना.
ओके मैम।
So this is doctor explain that is used for documentation tool. So next is web development tool. This web development tool assists in designing web pages with all the allied elements like form, text, scripts, graphics, and so on. So it assists in designing web pages with all allied components like forms, text, script, graphics, on and so on, and many more. The example is Adobe Edge Inspect. There are many other also. Adobe Edge Inspect. Web development tool. It also provides a live preview of what is being developed and how it will look after completion. So next is quality assurance tool. Quality assurance tool. So, quality assurance in a software organization is, we know it is monitoring the engineering process and methods adopted to develop the software product in order to ensure conformance of quality as per organization standards. So, it ensures conformance to quality and standard set. Quality and set standards. So, quality assurance can be done using some computer assisted tools, and very popular tool is Apache JMeter. This is an example of case tool, quality assurance tool, Apache JMeter. Next is maintenance tool. Maintenance tool. We know that after testing and implementation and with passage of time, we realize that the software system requires some kind of maintenance. So, and people usually do, or the developer usually assign a team for maintenance. So, maintenance can usually is done manually, but there are tools for maintenance also that do a kind of defect tracking. So, software maintenance includes modification in the software product after it is delivered. So, modification है क्या maintenance? Modification of software product after it is delivered. So, like defect tracking, with passage of time, you are using a particular software and you feel like there are some kind of defects that are introduced in the with time. So, finding those defects, tracking those defects, we can have a tool. And example of such tool is Bugzilla. Bugzilla. What it do is it detects defect. It detects defects. डिटेक्ट किसको होता है डिफेक्ट्स को और वी कैन से डिफेक्ट ट्रैकिंग is possible using the maintenance tool called Bugzilla. Now, after studying all these things, the various tools and we can say in case these various case tools, what we find is that it improves quality and productivity of software, improves quality and productivity. So this is one of the advantage of case tools. So advantages include quality and productivity improve, produces systems that more closely meet user needs and requirement. Meet user needs and requirement. So it provide a kind of excellent documentation can be provided, or we can say excellent documentation is possible. We can produce a flexible kind of system, produces flexible system. Next is it reduces the time for error correction and maintenance. So these are some of the easy maintenance. Improves quality and productivity. System meets closely with the user needs and requirement. Excellent documentation is possible. Produces flexible system and reduces time for error correction and detection. So what can be the disadvantages of this case tools? These includes system can become very complex if you are using case tool, or system can become very complex. System can become very complex. So complex. System can become very complex, not easily maintainable. There are many case tools in the market, and good quality case tools are very expensive or paid or available, we can say, only in trial way. You can use only trial version. If you want to buy them, they are very much expensive. Good quality case tools are very expensive. There is a tool called IBM Rational Rules. IBM का Rational Rules tool है. Rational Rules. It is used for designing UML diagrams and designing all the UML diagrams you can design using this tool. And this tool is expensive. 4-4.5 लाख का तो एक license आता है इसका. So require training. It requires training for staff. Require training of maintenance staff. Maintenance staff. So it may be difficult to use with the existing system. Existing system के लिए बड़ा मुश्किल है case to use है. May be difficult to use with existing system. So these are some of the disadvantages. So before moving further to the new topic, that is software configuration management and Six Sigma, we'll have Cole here, and after that we'll do the next part. So answer these questions. Meanwhile, I'll arrange a good marker So the question is, what does K stand for? Computer aided software engineering, computer cost aided software engineering, control aided software engineering, and the next is none of the mentioned. Next is case tools are mainly used while developing which of the following methodologies. So whether it is for RAD, JAD, or object-oriented approach, or all of the mentioned. So the first answer is computer-aided software engineering, and for second, the answer is all of the mentioned. So these are the answers. There is one question: is there any tool by some student? Is there any tool or software that can perform multitask instead of using different software at each category of case tool? So answer is no, because you can see that these things uh, cannot be done by a kind of, we can say, still this, there is no such tool that can do multitask. But there are tools who can do one or two steps before and after. Like there are tools who can, uh, in which we can only add the number of classes and the name of those classes, and can find out the, we can say, can draw the class diagram. This is the case. But if we feel like from project scheduling, planning, scheduling, testing, development, every kind of documentation for a single tool is available, there is no such tool till now available for assisting in software engineering, because it is very much difficult to feed the output of one to the input of another. So that is basically a disadvantage of case tools also. अगर ये काम हो गया ना, there single tool is able to handle all these things, तो फिर बंदे की जरूरत नहीं होगी, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर की तो जरूरत ही खत्म हो जाएगी. So this is the case. So till now there is no such tool, and I feel like creating such tool will enhance the productivity, but on the other hand will increase the complexity at a very high level. Complexity भी बहुत बढ़ जाएगी if there is a single tool who can do multitasking, because you can see in case of software engineering, the output of one is input to the second phase, to the other phase, we can say the next phase. So it is very much difficult to do the things in the form of parallel mode, but yes, they can be done in kind of a sequential mode, but no such tool exists right now. This is the answer to this your question. Now moving ahead with a new topic called Six Sigma. So what is Six Sigma? Six Sigma is basically a set of techniques and tools for process improvement. आप कोई भी process करते हो, so to improve that process, set of tools or we can say tools and techniques to improve the processes, improve any process. There may be any kind of technical process or any kind of other process or any kind of software engineering process. So when we are saying process, it means in the general terms, any kind of process. General term. This is a general term. Process may be manufacturing process. Process may be any kind of uh, work activity, or process may be a kind of software engineering process. So um, Bill Smith was called father of Six Sigma. उसको बोलते थे. Bill Smith was called father of Six Sigma, and it was developed by a company called Motorola. So Motorola कंपनी जो फोन बनाती थी उसकी कंपनी का ये सिक्स सिग्मा है. It is now having enormous brands of corporate development. अभी इसके बहुत सारे ब्रांड हैं. Basically many brands are using Six Sigma, and the first version of Six Sigma came in. We know this sigma represents a mathematical meaning called this sigma. Mathematician and engineers use this sigma for measurement in product quality. So this was used for product quality measurement. Basically. In the mid 1980s, this Six Sigma was used for reducing defect in production processes. So 1980s में इसकी initiation हुई थी basically for finding or for reducing defects in an in-house initiative. By the Motorola company. In 1980s. To produce high quality processes, to produce high quality product. So there is we can say history with the various passing years in 1991, 90s, and all these things. We will not discuss into the detail of that, but that's in 1991 Motorola certified its first black belt Six Sigma expert. In 1991 they certified Six Sigma black belt expert. Which indicates the beginners of the formalization of accreditation process of Six Sigma methods. Basically जो Six Sigma quality improvement defect removal strategy है उसके लिए एक certified way बनाया था. That was in 1991 and that was called as Six Sigma black belt expert. So this is the history of Six Sigma. In 1995 Six Sigma become well known by making a central focus of business strategy in the company called GE. In 1995, it became more popular with the company called GE General Electronics that uses Six Sigma for quality assurance. And by the year 2000, it was we can say effectively established industry. You may not be able to see, I think so, at this level. So I'm writing here in 2000. It emerged as effectively established industry involving training, consultancy, and implementation of Six Sigma methodology. Involving training, installation of Six Sigma methodology. So this is the history of, we can say, the Six Sigma methodology. So we can say Six Sigma, what is basically Six Sigma? It seeks to improve the quality of process. Six Sigma seeks to improve quality of process outputs by identifying and removing the cause of defect. The cause of defect. So you can see it is a methodology that works on improving quality, and focus is firstly identifying where defect is and what is the cause of defect, and reducing the cause of defect, or we can say removing the cause of defect. So Six Sigma approach is a collection of managerial and statistical concepts and techniques. This is an approach of managerial and statistical concepts. Managerial and statistical concepts and techniques that focuses on reducing variation in processes, reducing variations in processes, and preventing deficiencies in product. Deficiencies in product. So whenever we are developing anything, any process, it may be a manufacturing process, it may be software related process, or it may be any kind of process in the industry that is being done, it includes reducing variations. So this is important. This approach is managerial and statistical concept approach, and it reduces variations in processes and preventing deficiencies in product. So that approach is called Six Sigma approach. The concept of variation states that no two items will be perfectly identical. So that is called variation should be minimum. So in a process that has achieved Six Sigma capability, if we say we are running a company and there is a process and we have achieved a Six Sigma capability. So Six Sigma capability achieving means the variation is small compared to the specification limit. Variation is small with respect to, or small compared to the range of, specification limit. if we are setting any specification limit, there will be a small kind of variation. So we can say a Six Sigma process is the one, ऐसा process है, this is a process is the one in which 99.99996% of the product manufactured are statistically expected to be free of defects. These products are free of defect, or we can say 3 to 4 defects per million. If we are developing anything in millions per million, if we are developing any kind of product, so defect range is, or we can say defect finding is range lies between 3 to 4 defects per million. If per million products are being developed, there are only 3 to 4 defects in those products. 4 चीजें खराब हो जाए उसमें 1 million में, that, and we can say this product can have a Six Sigma capability. So Six Sigma is a very clever way of branding and packaging many aspects of total quality management. Total quality management भी यही बोलता है, there should be a kind of totally management of quality. So total quality quality management is approach to long-term success to customer satisfaction. This is a long-term approach, but this Six Sigma is a clever way of reducing the defects, and defects should be reduced to a level called 3 to 4 defects per million. And if we are able to achieve that kind of capability, we will say that we can achieve Six Sigma capability. So manufacturing methods of Six Sigma are used in batch production, job production, and mass production. So manufacturing is in the form of we can say batch production. आप एक बैच की फॉर्म में प्रोडक्ट को प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हो, और यू कैन हैव प्रोडक्ट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ मास प्रोडक्शन. We can say we have achieved Six Sigma capabilities because the things products are developed in the form of batches and in the form of called mass production. So what are the characteristics of Six Sigma? The characteristics include characteristics of Six Sigma. First is statistical quality control. Statistical quality control. Number 2 is methodical approach. Methodical approach. Methodical approach. Fact and data based approach. Next is project and objective based focus. Project and objective based focus. The customer focus. Next is teamwork approach to quality management. Quality management. Teamwork approach to quality management. So these are the characteristics of Six Sigma. So statistical quality control means this is derived from the Greek word called sigma. So this statistical means this sign that is called standard deviation. Standard deviation. So uh, we can say in statistics, standard deviation is used to measure the variance, which is an important tool for measuring non-conformance as far as the quality of the product or the output is concerned. So from the standard, how much we are deviating is a concern. So this is a statistical quality control, which tells you that we should not deviate much. And if the product is deviating, the product should be in the range between 3 to 4 per million. So that is why it is called statistical quality control approach of deviation, that is called standard deviation. And in mathematical terms, we know standard deviation is used is used to measure variance, which is an important tool for measuring non-conformance as far as quality of the output is concerned. Next is methodical approach. So method-wise approach includes that we can have a quality improvement strategy. So for that, we can have two things. What are those two things that are called DMAIC and DMIAV? DMAIC and DMADV. So this DMAIC, DV include design, measure, analyze, improve, control. This strategy is called design, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So this strategy can be used for methodical approach can be used for analyzing the quality. And other way you can do is the alternative method is design, measure, analyze, design, and verify. Design, measure, analyze, design, and verify. Design, measure, analyze, design, and verify. So that is called methodical approach. ये method approach, you can follow this method of approach, or you can have this another method of finding the designing the things, measuring the thing, analyzing the thing, improving, and then controlling the thing. Or we can have designing the things, measuring things, analyzing, and if it requires redesign, we can have a design and verify that design. Now, fact and database approach, that is a third kind of characteristics. Fact and this is third is fact and database approach. Fact and database approach. So this fact and database approach mean that there should be some kind of scientific basis of the technique. So scientific basis of the technique for quality improvement in case of fact and database. So there should be a scientific basis for improving the quality of the product. We can have a scientific approach to improve the quality. Next is project and objective based focus. That is fourth one is project and objective based focus. Okay. So project and objective based focus, basically we are to This Six Sigma process is implemented for an organization project tailored to the specifications. We know that organization is thinking of making a project, and it is based on tailored of the specifications and requirement, tailoring of specification and requirement. So the process is flexed to suit the requirements, flexible enough to suit the requirements and condition in which the project is operating to get the best result. For apart from that, Six Sigma is also objective based. So we can say this approach is project development approach for improving the quality, but this approach is also objective based. We cannot move the things without objective. So the management needs some incentive to invest in the Six Sigma process. So it is aimed to enhance the profitability and to generate financial gains in the case of objective based focus. So that is a strategy to improve the quality. Next is the customer focus. So the customer focus, the fifth is customer focus. So whenever we are developing any kind of project, we are developing or making any kind of product, or it may be a manufacturing product, the customer focus is fundamental to Six Sigma approach. The quality improvement and control standards are based on explicit customer requirement, because we cannot decide the quality of our own. If we are developing or manufacturing anything, we cannot decide the quality. We are to see what customer feels that this is the quality. So the customer focus should be a concern. It should be a concern for Six Sigma capability achieving. So next is teamwork approach to quality management. Next is teamwork approach to quality management. So a teamwork approach to this Six Sigma process requires organizations to get organized when it comes to controlling and improving quality. Six Sigma actually involves a lot of training depending on the role of an individual in the quality management team. So it requires a kind of teamwork approach for quality management. You cannot do anything on your hand or individually by a person. You can do Six Sigma quality assurance. You need a kind of teamwork kind of approach is required in case of Six Sigma. Now, before moving further with the Six Sigma objectives, we'll have one poll here, and after that we'll ma'am, if we have automatic testing tools like Selenium, then why there is need for manual testing? As it will waste a lot of time and also there will be higher risk of errors there. See, in case if we have tools called Selenium and people are working on, organizations are working on using these Selenium like tools, but everything cannot be tested automatically. There are some areas where we cannot use Selenium and we cannot rely on Selenium effectively. For those areas where we can have manual testing, and every kind of organization cannot afford a Selenium kind of tool or Selenium kind of testing environment will be provided by every kind of organization. So according to me, what I feel is we can move both way. Like we can have automatic testing as well as manual testing. Depends on the we can test lead engineer that which part of the testing require automatic kind of testing and which part of the project requires a manual kind of testing. So that is why we cannot totally rely on tools like automatic testing tools like Selenium and such tools. I hope it is clear to the person who have asked this question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So database management software server as a foundation for establishment of case database that we call project databases, system databases, analysis and design tools or prototyping tools. Other one is tools assist in the planning, development and control in case. Dash tools that assist in planning, development, control in case. Dynamic measurement, data acquisition, test management or cross-functional tools.
Hello, excuse me, ma'am. पोल शो नहीं हो रहा.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
पोल नहीं शो हो रहा, उसकी वजह है आपका डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया होगा, फिर रिकनेक्ट हो गया होगा. दैट इज व्हाई यू आर नॉट एबल टू सी दैट पोल. डोंट वरी, सी व्हाई इट इज नॉट शोइंग. यही बात होती है, डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाता है उसके बीच में, पोल जो है वो लॉन्च हो जाता है. यू आर नॉट एबल टू सी दैट पोल. आप डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए फिर ज्वाइन हुए.
Yes, ma'am.
So I am ending this poll in 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, still students are pending. So answer to these questions is database management software servers serve as a foundation for establishment of case database repository that we call as project databases. Next is the dash tool assist in planning, development and control in the case. So that tool is called test management tool. So these are answers to your questions. Next is now moving further towards Six Sigma objective. Now moving further, what are the various Six Sigma objectives? So the first objective we achieve with Six Sigma objectives. Objectives. What objectives we achieve using Six Sigma capability? First is overall business improvement. Overall business improvement. Number two is remedy defect variability. We can have an remedy defect variability, reduce cost, improved cycle time. Next is increased customer satisfaction. Increased customer satisfaction. So these are things that set the objectives. So overall business improvement is possible if we have achieved Six Sigma capability. Six Sigma methodology focuses on business improvement. So beyond reducing the number of defects present in any given number of products, what we are doing, we are achieving a kind of, we are focusing on improving our business. So in the case of this is business improve, overall business will be improved if the defects are very low. Next is remedy defects variability. Any business seeking improved number must reduce the number of जो improve करना चाहता है any business seeking improvement, so that business need to reduce the number of defective products or services it produces. So defective products can harm customer satisfaction level. So the remedy defects or variability should be reduced, and that is the objective of the Six Sigma. So the reduced cost equals increase profits. If you are reducing the cost, the investment cost on your business, that means you are increasing your profits. So a company implementing Six Sigma principle has to look to reduce cost. They need to find out how they can reduce the cost wherever it's possible, and can, without reducing quality, they can reduce the cost effectively. Next is improving cycle time. Any reduction in the amount of time it takes to produce a product or perform a service means money saved. If you are reducing the time or improving the cycle time, so any reduction in the amount of time will lead to increase in money saved, because if time reduce means money reduce, and money reduce means you have saved that money or saved that time, both in maintenance cost and on personal wages. Additionally, the customer satisfaction improves and both retailers and end user receive products sooner than expected. So if you are delivering the product, then expected time, before the expected time, sooner than the expected time, what you are doing is you are improving the cycle time, and this is possible using the Six Sigma capability. So all these factors will lead to increased customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction depend on the successful resolution of all Six Sigma uh, objectives, but customer satisfaction is the main objective of Six Sigma. So this was all about Six Sigma. Now comes the levels. Six Sigma levels. Six Sigma levels. So we'll draw a table here so that you can understand thoroughly what are the various levels you can have second 2 level, 3 level, 3.5 level, 4 level, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, and this is the heading. This includes heading, levels, Six Sigma levels, accuracy, percentage accuracy, or we can say um, how accurate they have achieved in the form of percentage, and DPM, defect per million of DPM, defect per million. And uh, this 3.5 is considered to be as a kind of a good level, and improvement needed in an next is so this is the case. So if you have achieved 99.9997, 99.9997%, 3 to 3.4 million defects, 3 to 4 defects or 3.4 defects per million is having accuracy of 99.9997. This is the sixth level sigma accuracy you have achieved. And if it is 99.96%, then you have 233 defects per million. And 99.4%, you have accuracy of 6210 defects per million. 97.1% or 7%, that is 22,700 defects per million. 93.3, 66,000. 66,807, and this is for 69.1%. When you are having a defect of 3,08,537, 308,537. So this is defects per million as percentage accuracy level, Six Sigma levels, and this is if this level is 3.5, we'll treat it as good level, and this is called virtual perfection that we want to achieve, and this is the if it is below that, in that case improvement is needed. So these are the levels of Six Sigma. Next is methodologies. Six Sigma methodology. So Six Sigma follows two methodologies. They are called as two methodologies are there. Two methodologies. First is called DMAIC. DMAIC. Other is called DMADV. DMADV. DB. Two methodologies, DMAIC and DMADB. DMAIC is used for projects aimed at improving an existing business process. This is for projects aimed at improving an existing business process. Aimed at improving existing. G.
Ma'am, please allow Anjali to enter. She got disconnected.
Okay. Improving existing business processes. And this is for projects aimed at creating new products or process design. Aimed at creating new product or process design. So these are the two methodologies. First is for existing project, and other one is for the creating new processes on products. So DMAIC stand for, we have already gone through this. In DMAIC stand for define, measure. This is like, these are the 5 phases: define, measure, analyze, next is improve, next is control. Define means define the system, the voice of the customer, their requirements, project goals, etc. So defining everything, defining the system, voice of customer, discussion with the customer, requirements, project goals, everything needs to be defined in the define phase. Next is measure. Measure the key aspects of the current process and collect relevant data. So measure is, this phase includes collecting or measuring key aspects of the current process and collecting relevant data. Now next is analyze. Analyze includes analyzing the data to investigate and verify cause and effect relationships. So analyzing includes cause and effect relationship, determine what the relationships are, and attempt to ensure that all factors have been considered. In case of analyze, that seek out the root cause of defect under investigation. So this root cause of defect under investigation is done in the analyze phase. Now, after finding the root cause, next is improvement. Improve or optimize the current process based on data analysis using techniques such as design of experiments, or mistake proofing, standard work to create a new future state processes, set up a pilot run kind of thing to establish process capabilities. So that it comes under the heading of improve. Next is control. Control the future state process. Ensure that any deviation from the target are corrected before they result in defect. So whenever you feel like this phase will result in or this next process may result in defect, controlling those stages is under the heading of control phase. So see the deviations from target and correct those before it will result into defects. Implement control systems such as statistical process control, production boards, visual workplaces, and continuously monitor the processes. So this is all about DMAIC. Next is DMADV. So I'll change these two because C are same. DMADV. D for projects aimed at creating new processes and products. So it is define, measure, analyze, design, verify. So it will totally remain the same. Define design goals of that are consistent with the customer demands. Like, because you are designing new things, so define design goals that are consistent with the customer demands and enterprise strategy. Measure and identify characteristics that are critical to quality. हमने क्या measure करना, because we are doing in process improvement, so the basic focus is to measure and identify characteristics that are critical to quality, product capabilities, production process capabilities, and to find out the risk. That is under the heading of measure. Next is analyze to develop design alternatives. What are the design alternatives? Analyze those things. Next is design. Design an improved alternative best suited for analysis in the previous step. So whenever you find and do the things analysis to develop new design alternative, if you find any design alternative, you design an improved alternative. That is the next phase. If you find here any alternative in the design, you can design that alternative in the design phase, best suited for analysis in the previous step. And next is verify. So verify means verify the design, set up a pilot run, implement the product process, and hand it over to the process owner, and then that is called verifying the design of the DMADV. So this was DMADV, that is for the new projects or new processes. Next is implementation rules. So Six Sigma implementation rules. Implementation rules. So there are several key roles for its successful documentation, or we can say implementation also. The first key role is executive leadership. First of all, I'll write that. After that, we'll discuss that. Executive leadership. Next is champions. Master black belts. Next is black belts. Green belts. Next is green belts. Now, what are these implementation roles? First is executive leadership. This includes CEO and other members of top management. They are responsible for setting up a vision for Six Sigma implementation. So this includes CEO and top management. CEO and top management. Top management. Next is champions. Campaigns take responsibility of Six Sigma implementation across the organization in an integrated manner. Implementation across the organization. Master black belts. So they are identified by champions act as an in-house coaches on Six Sigma. So they are basically in-house coaches on Six Sigma. In-house coaches on Six Sigma. On Six Sigma. They devote 100% of their time to Six Sigma. They exist champions and guide black belts. So next is black belts holder of Six Sigma. This is a role in Six Sigma basically. Operate under master black belt to apply Six Sigma methodology to specific projects. They operate under master black belts. Master black belts. I'm writing MBB, master black belts, to apply Six Sigma methodology to specific. Six Sigma methodology to specific projects. Next is green belts. Green belts are the employees who take up Six Sigma implementation along with their other job responsibilities operating under the guidance of management. So green belts are, we can say, ad hoc workers. Ad hoc workers. They work with this Six Sigma as well as with their other job responsibilities under the guidance of black belt. So these were the implementation roles in Six Sigma. So next is software used for Six Sigma.
Ma'am, these are the positions in the organization.
These are the roles that are under Six Sigma. Basically, the thing is, this is an organization who provides a kind of certification to people who do their kind of their course in Six Sigma for their organization. Like
They are
many,
team of people. They
these are
perform
the
that
people
function.
in inside that company, Six Sigma rules and implementation. उनका क्या काम अपनी कंपनी में Six Sigma कंपनी implementation rules. तो जो green belt है, this is we can say taken by people who work with the Six Sigma and do their work also, like a kind of certification. मैं Six Sigma green belt हूँ. People usually say I have done a course in Six Sigma and now I'm certified Six Sigma green belt holder. That is the
Yes,
thing. बेसिकली ग्रीन बेल्ट ही और ब्लैक बेल्ट तक ही अचीव होता है. बाकी लेवल्स जो हैं वो उस कंपनी के हैं सिक्स सिग्मा के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रूल.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
नेक्स्ट इज सॉफ्टवेयर यूज्ड फॉर सिक्स सिग्मा. फर्स्ट इज I'll write the softwares here and you need not to go in detail of these softwares. There are many things related to Six Sigma, but only I'll discuss only the software because this much detail is not required in at your level. Next is software used for Six Sigma, and after that we'll have poll because अभी दो poll पढ़े. Softwares used in Six Sigma. Six Sigma. First is Arena. Number two, Aries Six Sigma. Aries Six Sigma. Next is JMP. MATLAB. Microsoft Visual. Microsoft Visual. Stata. And many more, but you can remember these if it will be asked in your paper. Arena, ARENA. So now we have two goals here, and after that we'll do this software configuration management in the next lecture. Answer these questions. Kindly answer these questions. I am ending this poll after 20 seconds. Which is software configuration management concept? Okay, this is related to software configuration management. So, which is software configuration management concept? We have not done this concept today. So, let me see if we can change this. Okay, answer these questions. We'll discuss those. Which is software configuration management concept that help us control change without seriously impeding justifiable change. Next is software configuration management can be administered in several ways. First question answer is baselines. So this is correct. Next is software configuration management can be administered in several ways. So a single software configuration management team for the whole organization. These include a single software configuration management team. First answer is A and second answer is also A. So we will not have another poll here because this is also related to configuration management. We'll do that poll in the next lecture. And as time is also 11:28 here, this will not be possible in this lecture. So in the next lecture, we'll do software configuration management and some of the other topics related to quality management. And we'll discuss also a tool called Selenium tool, automatic testing tool Selenium. So I hope you are getting the content. If you feel like you are not having that content or it is not available on ERP or on the web portal, you can message me. I'll send it to you. and we'll put that on ERP also. Thank you, students. Thank you very much.